Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to talk about charity tattoo day events. If that makes sense? That makes sense, right? So yeah, in today's video I'm going to talk about the experience that I had on Saturday just gone. It was Saturday the 12th of August. I went to a charity tattoo event at a tattoo studio in central London called Jolie Rouge. It's a wonderful, wonderful tattoo studio. I've been there before because I got tattooed by Keely Rutherford a previous summer. I think it was summer 2016 that I got tattooed by Keely Rutherford. She's an amazing tattoo artist. She has this awesome kawaii cute style. It's very colourful, but the tattoo that I got by Keely was actually black and grey. She's really good at black and grey also, but she's known for her colourful pastel vibrant kawaii tattoos. Anyway, oh my goodness, a couple of months ago she put on her Instagram page that she's having a charity day event at Jolie Rouge in honour of her mum. Her mum passed away sadly earlier this year, and she wanted to do a charity day in honour of her mum for the charity called Mind. They deal with mental health issues. Great charity, so she picked a really good charity to donate money to. So she set up a Just Giving page a couple of months ago, and that's been going on strong for quite a while now. I will leave the link down below if you want to donate to it. So she started all that a couple of months ago, and she said, hey, on the 12th of August I'm going to do a charity day at Jolie Rouge. It's going to be cat related as her mum liked cats, which is such a cute idea because like who doesn't like cats nowadays? I feel like everybody is a cat person. You cannot not like cats, right? They're super cute and they have like their own little personalities and stuff. So she decided that everything was going to be cat themed, well everything as much as possible was going to be cat themed, and she asked the tattoo artists at Jolie Rouge if they wanted to take part in it. In the end I think there were 6 tattoo artists taking part in this charity day. The studio is pretty small. I've been in smaller, but I've been in much larger tattoo studios also, so it's quite a cute put together studio, if that makes sense. Like it's such a family friendly environment. Everyone working at Jolie Rouge is just like so nice to each other, and they're like a little family. It's so sweet. So working in a small little studio when you all get along, I'm sure it's like fine, it's perfect. So it's quite a small little studio, and where people tattoo is downstairs. So you walk down these stairs, and then there's like, I don't know, it's set out like a sort of U shape type thing. So the stairs are in the middle. You got like section here, section there, section here for where people get tattooed. I think in total the maximum of tattoo artists that could tattoo at one point is 5 tattoo artists. But it's all quite close knit, like you're sitting next to, in some parts you're sitting next to someone that's getting tattooed quite closely. So there's 6 tattoo artists participating in this event, so Keely asked them to do cat style flash. So all the tattoos you could pick from that day were all cat related. There was nothing non-cat related, if I'm thinking about it. There was nothing. It had, everything had some kind of cat feel to it. There was like a cat eye, and there was like this Playboy bunny that looked like a cat type thing. So everything was cat themed, and every artist had their own unique style. Every artist that works at Jolie Rouge is all different, all unique. You will not find the same kind of artist there, if that makes sense. There's probably only one traditional artist, one cute kawaii artist, there's one neo-traditional artist there type thing. Like there's all different styles of artists there, which is awesome. So she announced the whole date very far back. I definitely want to say a good 3 months ago, 2 months ago, definitely about 3 months ago she announced this day. And there was no flash or anything involved then. Nobody had designed anything. It was just like, hey, on the Saturday the 12th of August I'm having this day, and she announced it on Instagram. So I commented on the Instagram post saying, oh, this is really exciting, I might pop down, and then Keely said to me, yeah sure, pop down, you can vlog it as well if you like. So she sort of just gave me permission of like, if you want to vlog it, that's cool, because the first time I had a tattoo by her I emailed her and asked her if it was okay to vlog, because I like to ask people's permission if I'm vlogging in their sort of environment, just because I don't want to make anyone feel that uncomfortable. I know when someone whacks out a camera it's a bit intimidating sometimes. I mean for me personally, because I'm like a YouTube vlogger, I'm used to it now. If someone was to whack out a camera in front of me I'd just be like, okay cool, whatever, it's like second nature. But to people that aren't really in that environment it's kind of a bit like ooh. So I always like to ask permission. So that's how the whole situation of me vlogging the whole situation come about. So fast forward a couple of months, I think the designs were put on Instagram probably three weeks before the event, and that's when I saw the tattoo that I wanted. I initially did want to get tattooed by Keely just because I'm a massive fangirl of Keely's work, but then I saw the cat tattoo that I got. It's like a mix between a cat face, a lady face, in a heart with some ears. I don't know, I just loved it so much. I've been asked a couple of times like what made you choose that design, and basically it's because I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, all the other designs I've really not seen anything like it before, but this one really stood out to me, so I was hoping and praying that I was the one that could have this tattoo. I'll go more into that in a moment though. So yeah, Keely uploaded the flash on her Instagram page quite a few times, a couple of times here and there, just so you can look at them beforehand. It's easier to decide that way also, instead of standing around and then thinking, what should I have, don't know. Because then you're holding up everyone. With a charity tattoo day, it's very fast pace, I would say. Like, you don't really have time to stand around and think about what you're going to have. You basically just need to pick and then tell someone. I'll get into that in a moment. So I had already picked what I wanted because Keely had uploaded the flash on Instagram. I've seen this plenty of times with other studios when they do flash days, charity days, Friday the 13th days, Halloween days. They will upload the flash beforehand, and obviously it helps everyone to choose and pick which ones they want. It's a lot easier, thank God for Instagram. I don't know what they did before Instagram was invented when there was flash days, because you know, flash days, charity days, Halloween days, Friday the 13th days are not new. They've been around for years and years and years within tattoo studios, so it must have just been a lot more hectic. So let's fast forward to August the 12th. I got up extremely early. I got up at 6:45, I think it was, yeah, 6:45, which is very early for me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm definitely a night owl. I like to go to sleep at like 2-3 a.m. and I'm pretty sure I went to sleep at like 2-3 a.m. the night before type thing. So it was early, I was tired, but you guys know the feeling. When you're about to get tattooed, you get kind of excited. Even if you've been getting tattooed for 5-10 years, you still get a little bit of excitement because you're just going to a place where you enjoy. I love going to tattoo studios, I love hanging out in tattoo studios. I just love hanging around with people that are like-minded like me, because again, like I've said in plenty of videos, I don't really have anyone in my close vicinity network of friends or family that are into tattoos as much as I am. You know, Liam appreciates tattoos, Yasmin appreciates tattoos. They just don't have tattoos. Well, Yasmin has one tattoo, but they're not obsessed like me. Like, I am extreme obsessed, you guys are extreme obsessed. So, you know, when you get to hang out in a tattoo studio, it's just like, let's go, I'm excited. So I was running on excitement and muffin. I had a chocolate muffin before I left, so I had my sugar levels up on crazy mode. By the way, if you can hear any rustling or scratching, it's Elmo. He's having a restless day today, of all days, when I'm filming. He's really restless today. So if you hear scratching, I apologise. There's nothing I can do to shut him up. So yeah, I got to the train station, I think at like 8:30ish, I'm not entirely sure. Managed to get to the tube station and walk to the tattoo studio by 9:15, I think it was. I'm not exactly sure on the exact time, but I got there about 9:15 and I was in the queue about 9:30, 9:20. The tattoo studio opened at 10 and it was going to close at 6 p.m. By the time I got there, there was at least 15 people in front of me. I want to say about 10 to 15 people in front of me, and I got there at 9:20. By the time the studio had opened, there was at least another 8 people behind me in the queue, and then obviously people trickle through for the rest of the day. They start coming through more and more through the day. The eager beavers are always there early. There was a potato family member there way before me. I was sort of talking to her in my Facebook group, and she said there was one person in front of her that had been there for, I'm not sure how long actually, quite a while before her, but Charlotte got a tattoo from Keely. The girl in front of her wanted Keely as well, so Charlotte had to wait around. So what I want to say to you guys for some advice, if you're thinking about going to a charity tattoo day or a flash day or any kind of tattoo studio day where there's no appointments, you just show up and it's first come, first serve, would I advise for you to queue up? Yes. Are you still going to be waiting around even if you're the first, second, third, fourth, fifth person there? Yes, because you have to wait for your tattoo artist, you have to wait for the studio to open. Say the first 3 people want to get tattooed by Keely and you're the 3rd person in line, so there's 2 people in front of you that wants to get tattooed by Keely, you would have to wait for Keely to do the first 2 tattoos. Now Keely's quite a fast worker. I'm using her as an example, by the way. Obviously wherever you go it might be different. But Keely's quite a fast worker. She can knock out a tattoo pretty quickly, but still you'd still be waiting for like an hour, 2 hours. So no matter what, whether you're first in the queue or in last in the queue, if you turn up during the day, you're going to be waiting no matter what. This is the only thing with tattoo flash days. You've just got to be prepared. You just gonna wait. And I was fully prepared to be waiting there until 6 p.m. You know, I thought roughly, because I got there early, I would be there until about 1, 2ish. I said to Liam, oh, come meet me at about 1, 2ish, because that's when I thought I would be done. I didn't get tattooed until 2:30, but it's again one of those things you just got to expect to wait. That's the only thing I can stress. Do not be bitchy, do not be horrible to the staff, don't do any of that. Luckily I didn't see any of that at this charity tattoo day. There was no one being horrible or, you know, being bitchy about the whole situation, thank God. So let me just stress that to you guys. You will have to wait, no matter if you're the first person there, because you'll be the first person there, so you'll probably be waiting 2 hours because you're the first person in queue. So say for example you got there at 8 a.m. because you wanted to be the first in line, but the studio isn't going to open until 10, so you're still waiting. Whether you're there first or last, no matter what, you will be waiting, and you will have to wait for your tattoo artist that you've chosen to do that tattoo for other people. So you'll be waiting no matter what. The good thing is with this whole system is once the studio doors opened, at like 10:05 or something like that. It was a little bit after 10 a.m. and then the people in the queue sort of trickle through into the studio. Now, like I said before, the studio is quite a small studio. There's not many people that can fit in there. You can fit a good like 20 people in the receptionist area if you all sort of sardined in. So what happened was people go in one by one and they told the lady at the reception desk, hey, I want this tattoo by this artist. And they pointed at the board and they said, this one. And then the receptionist was like, oh, okay, so you want a tattoo by Manny. And she said, oh, how much is the tattoo? And they had prices next to the tattoo, so you knew how much you were paying before you even got tattooed, so there was no surprises. And the receptionist sort of writes down your name, your telephone number, how much the tattoo is going to be, and what artist is going to do your tattoo. And then that way there's a queue on this list of who came first, because it was a first come first served situation, which explained why there was a queue there. And then by the time it got to me, I was sort of like quite far down on the list, but I was the second person to want to be tattooed by Manny, which is the lovely lady that did my cat tattoo. So once that was all done, once you've sort of checked in type thing, it was like a hotel situation, you sort of just check in and you can do whatever you want. The receptionist had your number, so if I wanted to sort of walk off or what have you, she'd have my number and she would ring me sort of half an hour before my tattoo was meant to be done. It was all rough estimate also, because obviously each tattoo is going to take, you know, however long. You can never predict these kind of things. It also depended on the clients as well. So if the people in front of me were sort of new to being tattooed, or they found the tattoo to be quite painful, obviously a tattoo artist is going to have to stop and start, stop and start. There's just no way of predicting time with something like this. It's not like a normal tattoo studio situation where you can sort of predict, you know, how long it's going to take and if this is a person's first tattoo, because that's the kind of thing you tell a tattoo artist in a consultation or over email. So this was obviously very unpredictable, and again that's why I say and stress to you guys, you may be waiting around for hours upon hours upon hours. Luckily there was a Costa next door to Jolly Rouge, so I went in there and I sort of hung out with Charlotte, the Potato Fan member, and yeah, I just sort of got like a juice from Costa, and then it was Charlotte's turn to be tattooed, so she just wandered off into next door, and then I sort of just chilled in Costa for about half an hour or 20 minutes, and then I went back to the studio and I was just like, oh, roughly how long is it going to be until I get tattooed, because I didn't want to venture off too far into sort of central London or anywhere in London, just in case I couldn't get back in time and then I'd lose my place. So the lovely lady at reception was like, I'm honestly not sure, it'll be at least a couple of hours, and I was like, yep, that's fine, that's cool. And I sort of just chilled in the studio for a little while and I just hung out and embraced the tattoo studio atmosphere on a charity day. Everything was buzzing, everyone was like so excited and so friendly, everyone was sort of talking to each other. It was really, really nice, and there was a lot of merch to look at as well, and this cat come in as well. It was the cutest cat I had ever seen, honestly, and she had these two little like snaggle teeth, and she just looked like she'd seen some things. Like, she looked a little bit terrified but in the cutest possible way ever. So that was really, really sweet. So I was sort of hanging around in the studio from about, I want to say from about 11 until 1:30ish. I think I was sort of sitting around, chilling out, enjoying life for a couple of hours. and then I was starting to get really hungry, and I thought, do I wait or do I get something to eat? There was a shop over the road, I can't even remember what it was, I think it was like a Co-op or something. I went over there, I got a sandwich and some crisps, and I chilled in a park, and I just, you know, enjoyed my life. When you're at one of these like flash days, if you have written down your name and your number and chosen what you already want, you can just sort of swan off. Don't go too far though, that's what I was worried about. I don't know, you probably can just wander off as far as possible. If you live near the studio, you could probably just go home. But I was in London, I was nowhere near my home, so I kind of just entertained myself. I had my phone, I had a power bank. I wasn't going to run out of entertainment, so it was fine. So yeah, I sort of just got something to eat, and I went to this park and I ate, and I come back to the studio just before 2 o'clock because that was my rough estimate time. And then Liam turned up, and I was just like, hi Liam. So I just sort of chilled with Liam for a bit and stuff, and then by 2:30 it was my turn to be tattooed. I got tattooed by Manny. The tattoo took about 2 hours. There was at least 1, 2, 3, 4. There was at least another 4 people getting tattooed while I was getting tattooed as well at the same time. Like I said, the studio is quite a small one, so you're all kind of close knit. But it was really cool because you could just hear like everyone's kind of conversations, not in a stalker way, but it's just really nice to be so close to each other in a weird sort of way. And yeah, so I was laying on one of those like massage beds, and then Manny was just doing her thing behind me, and it was really cool, and she was very nice. I'd never been tattooed by her before. I'd only sort of discovered her work through this charity event because I sort of saw her cat design on Keely's Instagram page, and then I sort of looked at her Instagram page, I followed her, and then I looked at her work, and I was like, okay, yeah, this girl knows what she's doing. She's very talented. I will leave her a link to her Instagram down below so you can check her out and stuff, but I highly recommend Manny. She was so lovely, she was so sweet, and she's like one of those tattoo artists that gets excited as well. Like I love when a tattoo artist has so much passion and so much excitement for what they do. And you know, like I was saying in my previous video when I did the vlog, they must have been under so much pressure because there's just so many people that want to be tattooed by them, and they might feel a bit rushed, but I didn't feel like Manny was like rushing through things. She was really thorough, and she really did such a good job, and I cannot wait for this to heal because the colours are so perfect and it's just awesome. So yeah, I did get asked like what made me choose this tattoo, and I've already just said that it was because it's unique. I'd never seen anything before. I did have backups just in case because I ended up having the intention of being tattooed. I shouldn't have, I had to go into my savings. But you know what savings for anyway, do you know what I mean? So there was a couple of tattoos that I liked anyway. There was one tattoo that I really liked, but the girl behind me said that that's what she wanted. So I sort of overheard a conversation. So I was just like, I'm not going to take that from someone. She's probably very excited. She wanted like this kitty pumpkin tattoo from Keely. I loved it as well. I thought it was so cool. That was my second choice. Because she said she wanted it. I obviously didn't speak to her or anything, but I was just like, I can't take that from her. She's probably so excited. So luckily nobody had picked the tattoo that I wanted. When someone picks a tattoo in this situation, that's it. You're the only person that can have it. The tattoo artists weren't going to do doubles or change anything. Once a tattoo had been picked by someone, that's it, it's gone, nobody else can have it, which is really cool in my mind because most flash days they only have like 10 tattoos you can pick from, and then all the artists do those tattoos, and then there's obviously duplicates and replicas. Most tattoo artists will try and change it a little bit and make it customized for each person, but there's like up to 50 people that would end up with the same kind of tattoos and stuff. Well, not 50, that's really over exaggerated, but there'd be at least like, I don't know, 5 people with the same tattoo from a tattoo flash day normally. But with this one it's all unique, it was all sort of custom-ish, and nobody else had this tattoo on that day, which is really cool. I like that factor. It felt a little bit more special because the tattoos weren't cheap, but they weren't very expensive. Normally with flash days the tattoos are kind of cheap, they're like 50 quid up to 100. My tattoo was £180. I think the most expensive tattoo there was £280. So you're sort of looking at a normal tattoo price. Normally when you think of flash days, you think cheaper tattoos. I don't know, that's just from what I've seen in the past. You guys might think a bit different. But yeah, my tattoo was £180. I would have paid £180 for this tattoo on a regular day also. So like, I'm happy with the price I paid. All the money from all the tattoos went to charity. I'm not joking you. All the money from the tattoos and the whole day went to charity. Keely has at the moment raised over £8,000 for this charity event. Like like £8,000, that is a lot of money, and that's all thanks to tattoo fanatics and people that love cats, people that love cupcakes, people that love art prints and badges and pins and all sorts. So they raised £8,000, which is just fantastic, honestly, so good. So back to the day, the tattoo took 2 hours, and then I sort of said goodbye to Keely, and she's like, oh, thanks for coming. I was like, oh, thank you. It's like, she's so lovely. And I sort of just went on my merry way. I paid for it and I tipped Manny £10, and yeah, I sort of went on my merry way. So I was there from like 9:30 until 4:30, so I spent pretty much, you know, all that time in a studio and Costa and a park when I ate my sandwich. It was just, I know, it was such a lovely environment. So if you're like me and you love the like tattoo environments and tattoo studios, I know for a fact you guys would love a charity day. So yeah, it was honestly such a lovely day. So my top tips for you guys, if you want to go to a charity tattoo day, is you're gonna wait. You're gonna be waiting for a long time. Bring snacks with you, bring drinks with you, make sure you're warm or you're cool enough. The weather was perfect for that day. It was absolutely perfect. I wasn't too warm, I wasn't too cold. I dressed appropriately for the weather, because you know, you might be waiting outside for some time, because I've seen pictures on Instagram from charity days, flash days, with queues that are humongous, and you're going to be waiting outside for a long time. Another tip I've got for you is make sure you pick the tattoo that you want beforehand. If the pictures are on Instagram, it makes life easier for everyone involved. You just go up to the receptionist, say I want this tattoo, and bam. In other charity flash days, I know that it is pretty much first come first serve, so you wait in a queue and they don't take your details. You've just got to wait in the queue, and then you go to whichever artist and then you wait. But I think when there is multiple artists, like Keely's charity flash day where everyone's doing something different, I think they will take your information and you can be on your merry way, and it's first come first serve. If it's a case of there's like 4 tattoo artists doing the same designs, I think it's first come first serve, and you sort of wait in the queue and you'll go one by one to whichever artist is free. It varies. I'll probably have to go to another charity or flash day to figure out that side of things, because I've never been to something like that before. But with the one I went, they took your information because you were there first, and they'll ring you up when your tattoo artist is free. Another thing on that point is make sure you just sort of don't change your mind, like be very set on that idea, because if you go back up to the receptionist and like, actually I've changed my mind, I want to go with this tattoo artist, it messes up the whole system and they got to figure out who's next, because it's just confusing for everyone involved. So be 110% certain on the design that you want for that moment, and if you change your mind, then just either don't get tattooed or go to the back of the line or something, I don't know. So make sure you know what you want before you get there. If the design you have has already been picked, and it's like the situation where I was at, where you know, where each artist does their own design, make sure you do have a second choice if you're determined to get tattooed that day. If you only wanted that design and it's gone, then sort of just give up and leave, or buy some merch or something. There was a couple of people there, if I remember, that wanted a specific design that had already gone. I think they sort of was just like, you know what, don't worry about it, and they'll come back another day and they'll get tattooed by that artist. Something similar. Another tip that I have is make sure you have money on you already. You don't have to put a deposit down or anything like that when you're at a charity tattoo flash day. You sort of just put your name down. You don't book appointments at a charity flash day either. Again, it's first come first serve. It just sort of works its way out. You might be given a rough estimate time, but things might go over. And especially in my situation, what my situation was, there was 6 tattoo artists tattooing, but only 5 could tattoo at a time. So I think the reason why my one sort of ran over 2 o'clock, because my estimate time was 2, but it ended up being like 2:30, was because Manny was waiting for a space to be free to tattoo me, and whatever reason everything was sort of backed up. So yeah, you'll be given a rough estimate time, but there's a chance that it may be later than that. It could be earlier for whatever reason, but there's a chance it will be later. So yeah, you might be given a rough estimate time. But don't class that as a booking. Don't think that, you know, if you go away and then come back at that time, everything's going to be ready for you, because the chances are it's not. It's just so unplanned. It's not unorganised. There's no way you can predict these things type thing. So it's just one of those things. Make sure you're also dressed appropriately for your tattoo. I got tattooed at the bottom of my leg. I was wearing skinny jeans. It was really easy for me to just roll them up. I was fine. But if you're getting something tattooed on your thighs or somewhere on your ribs or something, make sure you're wearing appropriate clothing. If you don't like walking around in shorts or whatever, most studios have bathrooms. Joli Rouge has a bathroom where people are changing into shorts and changing out of shorts and stuff. That's fine, just make sure you're quick about it, because you're going to be holding up people and stuff like that. So just make everything sort of ease of access, and, you know, strip off, strip on, like get it over and done with quickly. And yeah, so make sure you bring all of that, don't faff around. So make sure you know where you're going to be tattooed as well. So if you find the design you want, make sure you know where to put it. To make things easier for everyone involved, I would say the easiest places to get tattooed on flash days are legs and arms. Anywhere else can be kind of complicated, and then you have to sort of move beds around and figure out that with your tattoo artist, and figuring out placements for tattoos when you're just about to get tattooed with your artist is going to slow down all the process. So honestly, the biggest advice I have for you guys is be prepared to wait and know what you want and where you want it. That's the biggest 3 tips I can give to you guys on this whole situation, is just know what you want, and it helps everyone. It helps absolutely everyone. So don't walk in that studio unsure of what you want and where you want it. If the designs haven't been put on Instagram, then obviously like that's out of your hands. Just try and pick something very quickly because it moves everything along for everyone involved. But when I walked into the studio, they had all the designs up by the window, and then later on in the day they flipped around so the people outside can see them, which is pretty handy. So if you're in a queue or whatever, you can sort of see them while you're queuing, so that helps. So, you know, if you're taking a while to choose, you're in a queue anyway, it doesn't matter. But if the designs and stuff are on Instagram, make sure you pick them, you know, days in advance. I think that's all the advice I can give to you guys and how the whole situation went about. It was honestly a lovely day. I highly recommend a charity day. I cannot wait to go to another one at some point in my life, or a flash day. The next Friday the 13th I think is in October, so I'm hoping I can scout out a tattoo studio to do one, because that would be the most, oh my god, like Friday the 13th in October, like, oh yes, do you know what I mean, like ultimate spoopiness, give it to me. So hopefully I can find a cool tattoo studio that's doing something for Friday the 13th this year, and then obviously I'll do a video about my experience also on that. But yeah, if you have any questions, if I've missed anything out, don't hesitate to ask. I will get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing very well, and until my next video, bye.